intros. Like, okay, well, I didn't want to do another intro because people did like the "Don't Tell Me Kiss Your Boy Ink." Um, but at the same time, what I can do is take the "Don't Blink Kiss Your Boy Ink" and put it in another language. So you're still getting the same intro, but you're making it multicultural. Now, ultimately speaking, that could be something bad to do because people could be hearing me talk another language and they'll think the video is in that language. But hey, if not willing to listen past the intro, that's not my problem. Eres no es mi problema. Mazramush Hadahuk Ink Domlink. This is the intro, but I asked for a friend to help me out, and I hope I pronounce it well. If I do, let me know. If I don't, do not let me know because I'll be forever sad and heartbroken. I promised you guys a beautiful, delightful moon. You get it. You got it also here. I have a bit of time before we do the TikTok live, so I wanted to do a little something called finishing what we started. So what did we start, my friends? We started Berserk. What didn't we finish? A bunch of things, but we didn't finish Berserk. So without further ado, let's start with Berserk. Now, of course, I didn't do it. Of course, they're gonna ask me to verify if a human. Of course, I should have done it before. By the way, we are watching a new series, and that new series is called the what? This new series is called Ed Gib, which is amazing. So we have previous chapter 1, and I believe this is where we start. Verifying if you're human. Truth is I'm an AI, and what you're saying is not true. Okay, so this I don't remember. I read it this morning, and I'm not remembering. Mechanical show by some chance to be entity of laws like the end of God hovering above. Okay, so they're showing the Belif, and it's these issue that man has no control even over his own will. So the reason why they're showing the Belif like that is this is the chapter where we meet Zod, and Zod's gonna be a super important. It's gonna be a super important character. Now, what I absolutely fucking love is Belif, which is kind of a proof of Griffith, possibly. And if you look at the end, it's almost crooked, like a talon of an eagle. But then this next scene, as you see, is the sword and its guts end. Men take up the sword in order to shield a small wound in his heart, something in the far off time beyond remembrance. Men wield the sword so that may die smiling in some far off beyond perception. This is the guy I was talking about, Zod. Easily one of my favorite characters. He is so interesting. She's fine. She's fine. So we just talked to a friend. She speaks Darja, and she told me how to do Adahuk. I'm gonna have to practice. I'm gonna have to practice so much. So we see more war, and this is cool because technically speaking, right, the Ben of the Ark right now is 4. Spoiler alert: there's no new members after Guts. Guts is the last joining member. So because Guts is the last joining member, you don't have to worry about, oh, we have to introduce these characters. So a character like that, the next step is what? The next step is establishing the Ben of the Ark as a strong force. You're gonna have to forgive me. We're doing ad because we have an event. We need to do ads. So now what we're doing is they're establishing the Hiram monk. If I remember correctly, he also has some demonic power, but nothing too crazy. And what is cool is this is also a sort of mercenary group, and because they're also a mercenary group, they're possibly one of the only, but they're so much stronger than Ben of Hawk, right? So this is super cool because we got the king. Now if you pay attention in the last chapters, you recognize him. It's like, yo, these are too strong. Can anybody defeat them? Now, ultimately speaking, there's this underlying strategy. We don't care if you lose mercs, but if you lose soldier, then you're gonna be mad, right? So the mercs is okay, and the Ben of Hawk being there is kind of crazy. This is super freaking cool because the first guy that we see is Guts. Now, I want you guys to take advantage of the fact that he has a new armor, and if you can see it, oh fucking ads. It's a small Orc. It is a small Orc. So this is really nice. There you go. So sick. So we have the sword attacking, which is great. And you send one horseman. Now, of course, it's more than one horseman. And the cool thing is, Gus goes after the captain right away. I don't remember if he kills him or not, but he goes after the captain right away. And Gus is Guts feel bad. Oh, this is the one where Casca says, "Hey, we're supposed to be doing this, but you went alone." And this is kind of cool because this is somewhat showing that he didn't evolve. So now we know that 3 years. Guts has been with the Band of the Ark for 3 years. The problem with this chapter is the beginning of a new like volume, if you will. So a lot of things change. So he's been with this, and the fact that he's willing to sacrifice himself is pissing off Casca, who cared about him, and Griffith. And Griffith's like, yo, you didn't change. You're still that guy that wants to die in battle. So a little bit of a situation here. A little bit of a situation. Mike Sorrentino. So just a normal fight. Of course, Griffith wins, and it's super cool because you're seeing the difference. Like, I love this two panels. Griffith smiling and Guts, he's worried. Griffith is the kind of guy, and I truly believe that he believes that nothing will happen to him in battle because the chosen one and his death will not happen on a small battlefield. Which, if it's the case, I love. If it's not the case, I still like. So there you go. People now, they're really respecting Guts, and there's one word that's important. They call him captain. Now, ultimately speaking, I like that fact, but I don't like that fact. Ultimately speaking, I like the fact that because of his strength, we saw that after 2 weeks he was giving 10 men, and then he's becoming the captain, right? Now, ultimately speaking, it sucks because some people have been with the Band of Ark for a while. It doesn't mean that you've been there for a while that you have what it takes to be a leader. That's a bit of a problem. That is a bit of a problem. Still shaking, just thinking about it. The start of this victory, leader of the Ark Raiders. So the Raiders is not the main army. This is so cool. Look, in Guts, this is a huge evolution for Guts. He says, "I'm sorry about that, you guys. I went in charge all by myself," which means that we needed to protect them. So Casca is pissed. Casca is really pissed, and she gives him shit. Like, you don't care about your die, and she calls him a mad dog, and Guts like, don't call me that. Don't call me that. It's somehow provoking, but it's more so. It's more so. And what I love here is the scene. Casca is like half of his size, and she grabs his collar. I think this is kind of awesome, wholesome. And Griffith tells her like, "Yo, I'm sorry. I'll be careful." It's like, "No, I don't believe you. You always say that. You're full of shit." And I kind of like that from Casca because it is true. He's full of shit. And this is super cool because Casca gives him shit, right? And then Griffith goes in and he says the same thing as Casca. Now, ultimately speaking, Griffith didn't tell Casca to go. So the fact that she was able to see is kind of like a shout out to Casca. Look at this. This is beautiful. A beautiful moon tonight. So the shout out to Casca is also important in a lot of ways. The shout out to Casca is important because it shows. That's not a good idea. The shout out to Casca is a good thing because you see normal soldier were like, "Yo, Captain Griffin, Captain Gus, you're a hero." And only 2 people noticed that he wasn't doing well. Doing something good, which is freaking who? It's Casca and Griffith. So Casca goes in and Griffith goes in and tells Casca, "I'm gonna take care of him." But then they're saying like, "Hey, you're too tough on him. You're too tough on Guts." Now, ultimately speaking, what I didn't tell you guys, and I should have told you before, is Guts. Again, he doesn't care that other people of his team die, but he cares about Guts because Guts is the one that's gonna get him to where he needs to be. And also, Guts is kind of the perfect soldier because Griffith has ambition to become a leader or a noble or a king, and Guts doesn't care about that. So he doesn't have to worry about betrayal. He doesn't have to worry about anything. But there you go. Now let's talking about this. This is kind of sad. So if you read that whole chapter, you don't see. You have to look at the middle of the chapter to see 3 years ago when you joined the Men of the Ark, which means that he was there for 3 weeks, for 3 years. The last chapter ended 2 weeks after you joined the Band of the Hawk. So this is 2.5 years later. 2 years, like, 3 years later, right? This is super cool. This is super cool. And this is crazy because look what it says. Come on, let's go get the why is it all about this, about you this time. I'm sorry about today's battle. Even that part of you is a part of my plan. So Griffith is still an asshole who is willing to use Guts. Now this is also a super important moment. The Band of the Ark won, and Griffith is made a knight. So he's been giving some rights, and He's been getting nice, so technically him and the Hawk are now a small army that he's in charge of, which means it gives them some privilege, right? And it's super cool because everybody's there except for Griffith, for Guts. Guts is training. And this is cool because it also shows that he doesn't care about all of that. So it's just nice. It is just nice. It is just nice. And this is a start. This is the start of the quarrel or the duality between Guts and Griffith. Guts, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. Guts is a better captain than Griffith. Griffith, don't get me wrong, he'll fight. He'll fight every single time. He'll fight. Would he be willing to throw himself out like Guts did? And Guts is a dumbass because he risked getting killed. He's a dumbass. He shouldn't do that. However, he went out there. Not only did he survive, he was able to successfully protect a lot of members of his team. Griffith never said that. You see, we've been watching I feel much better though. Don't worry. We've been reading that Golden Age for like 4 or 5 chapters now, and not once does somebody tell you saved my life to Griffith, you know. But at the same time, it's unexpected, right? It's unexpected. Like Rickett said, "Hey, you saved my life to Guts," and it's kind of crazy because you know Guts, and you know that Guts is not the guy to, or the type of guy to do that. So I did really enjoy that. Anyway, I love you guys. Take it easy. Let's see if the rice is ready. Ouch. Okay. Add. C'est quoi déjà? Mazramouche. Mazramouche, Hadahouk, Inc. 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 Practice. Okay, good. GFH is Shubuyat Vendetta. Resident Walks are having a wonderful day on the 6th, October 2025. Here's a video that I should have done on the very first day of this Spooktober 2025. It's a great idea that I have if I can give myself some pat on the back because nobody else will do it for me. So congratulations, Ink, you're the best. What I wanted to do here is, oh yes. So somebody taught me how to talk in Darja, and she's really helpful. So she's teaching me how to talk in Darja, and because I went to my father's house, long story short, and he's like, I watched a couple of your videos and I'm all tired of the intro. Like maybe people are getting tired, so we are practicing in other language. We have hola, me llamo Vendetta, which is one. Don't Blink is your boy Inc. Feliciton Chum Inc. Chifach Ishtubayet Vendetta. And we have the fifth one. Mazramush Halahook Inc. Pretty good. So yeah, so what is the video today? Because I kissed my own ass. I was like, oh, Inc, you're the freaking best. Why am I worthy of so much adoration? Great question. Great question. And it's a very simple answer. I should have come here on the first day and talk about my knowledge of horror movie. Because Spooktober is what? Spooktober is scary. So I wanted to come on here and establish what was my favorite movie and horror. What I do know, my favorite game, which is horror. And the reason for that is because right now we have this version. This 2025 version of myself is gonna be different than the 2026 version of 2026 version of the Spooktober, because I not only have watched different things, I've watched different shows, I've watched different movies, I've played different games. So I think it's important to establish my knowledge here. Yeah, it doesn't go in your mind, right? I have to go pee. I'll be right back. Don't fall. Mazramush Hadaru Inc. Mazramush Hadaru Inc. No, 6%. Not great. Not great, people. Okay. Mazramush Hadahook Inc. Let's go. Let's go, babe. Open the door. Not know him. Not let him in. I did it. He gave. That arms. He's not arms. He's a friendly guy. Oh, that's nice. Bye. Have a nice day. For the clothes. I told him you can keep your clothes. Uh-oh. Enter. It was a joke. Annie Bones. Cute. But you don't have enough. Again. She's doing hard drugs, bro. Don't trust her. Oh no. Oh.
As far as immigration.
Est-ce que je suis la seule à trouver ça malsain TikTok des fois? Genre un TikTok en prend 2 jours, pis boum! Tout le monde commence à inventer des théories, des histoires incroyables, si c'est la fin du monde. Ben non! Des fois on fait juste dormir. Tu sais ce que les humains font, là, dormir entre 2 vidéos pis 3 carrés, là. Ce que t'as sûrement déjà fait. Parce que surprise, comme tu le saches pas, nous autres les créateurs, on a une vie privée aussi. On sort.
Kan hade kommit lite smilla men inte kan till.
Wow, is this run? Yui.
Why is everyone taking? We just don't have the special tag, man. We just don't have the special tag. Okay, it's time to open. That's a non-stop 6 He tore off a piece of cardboard to let the puppet's head stick out. The little pup seemed to understand that Simon had decided to take him home and looked quite pleased.
Voyez ça? C'est ça que je parlais. On est là, là. Un créateur de contenu a besoin de faire un live pour s'expliquer parce que quoi, il a pris des journées de congé. Quand que, au départ, tout le monde le sait, il n'arrivait jamais la fin de semaine. The fuck?
Det kan inte vi säga. Curse. 3. Un count. A bunch of hands. Ah. Okay, cabinets. Even took a little break. So I did find it interesting. So what I'm going to talk about right now are not my entire knowledge of horror movie, right? But some of it. Not my entire knowledge of horror game, but some of it, right? So without further ado, let's freaking go. So you guys know I'm a huge fan of Chucky. Absolutely huge fan of Chucky. I'm out of shape, dude. I'm out of shape. So what is my favorite movie out of that? Because again, and I would like to try also to take a movie from last year that I really enjoyed, first of all, and then try to do something else. For example, last year the movie that we want to talk about is possibly Black Phone. No, well I'm going to say Black Phone, but I'm also going to say Babadook, because Black Phone itself was insane. It was the first like serial killer, and it reinvented the genre, but such a fantastic way. For example, with the kids that are calling Finn, if I remember correctly, Finn. If I remember correctly, which is not true because there's an ad for the second movie. To be honest, so yeah, so Finn was able to escape thanks to the call of the other kids. I really did enjoy that. Why? Because it's a clever way to reinvent the drama. You don't know if the calls were real. You don't know how it feels. I feel like it's gonna be explained more in the second movie, right? Phone was too hot. For fuck's sakes, dude. Gosh darn it. Gosh diddly darn it. The people we know, the people we know. The phone is too hot, so we'll have to wait a little bit. Mad. I love Mad.
If you live in Canada and you want to learn how to start making
Okay.
Okay, let's do the next one. 6-1, boss fights!
Nice. Okay, you need to work, man. Come on. And of course, Rehigh Part 2 of our Spook 25. What can I say? The phone got too hot. It closed on itself. We're talking about Babadook. Babadook was also something that is super nice because it's the main belief of the. As a kid, I was born in the 90s. There's a lot of movie where the kid was kind of the messed up part. He was kind of the new game. Why am I starting a video and I do an ad after, right after? There you go. It's super easy though. There you go. As soon as we started, as soon as we finished. So there was a lot of movie that did horror thing with kid. It was The Boy. There was a bunch of movie like that. The Ring, which was a bunch of movie like that. Babadook did it super well. So if I had to do two, in fact that is the mom that is kind of messed up at the end. To me was really nice. If I had to choose two movies from last year, that would possibly be it. I'll be completely honest, I don't remember what game we played last year for Halloween, but I think it was, I don't remember. I'll be completely honest, I don't remember at all. But because there was so many games last year that we didn't, so many movies that we didn't like. I didn't like Slenderman. And last year we came to Tokyo Ghoul as a horror manga, which is not really scary, and that we read before. Now we're reading Berserk. So see, trying to change things, but doing it in the same way if possible. Now also, this year was different for the movie itself, from this year to last year. This year from last year, I think this year I'm a bit more open-minded to new. For example, even though I have talking to a friend yesterday on TikTok Live, and we were talking about a movie that's possible to do for the spooky Spooktober. So he wanted me to check out Nightmare Before Christmas, and it's a great Halloween movie. It's not scary, but it's a great Halloween movie. It's and also things like well, I'm gonna do tomorrow, possibly, or the day after. I don't know yet. Tomorrow would be really nice though. Tomorrow would be really freaking nice. I would love tomorrow. So if I can, tomorrow what I would like to do, what I would really enjoy doing, is a marathon of Tim Burton. So talking about Coraline, I would do something like Beetlejuice. I never watched Beetlejuice itself. I never watched it. I would do. I also want to watch horror movies that are dating. For example, right now we're watching a series called Ed Gein the Monster. This is also super cool. Transcending just a movie, just watching movies, watching a whole series that is scary could be cool. Last year for Halloween we did watch Chucky, and I gotta say I didn't like it at all. So yeah, so this is it. Now for gaming, if we're talking about the game that scares me the most, I would possibly do Resident Evil 7 because it's such a good game, scary wise. It to me is the scariest of the Resident Evil. Walking Dead Telltale, I consider it like a Halloween game, even though it's not really a Halloween game. It's not really a Halloween game, but still. This year what I want to do is a marathon of Resident Evil. So question of originality, we're not really there yet because we did play Resident Evil before. But I think where this year's gonna be special is I'm playing every single Resident Evil in a row. So we're really getting into the spirits. I'm also watching the Resident Evil movie and the series. So this would be also cool because not only are you playing the game, but you're watching the movie. So going in a deep dive of Resident Evil. Now, ultimately speaking, this is great because last year we didn't know what to do. Last year was the first year that I really wanted to celebrate Spooktober. Was the first year. So this year, the fact that we are a bit more open-minded, a bit more exploring, right? It's kind of cool. And with at the same time, it's so insane because we're so open-minded. But most of my month of October is gonna be set playing the Evil game. Last year, by the way, we played separate ways. I played Resident Evil 4. That's what I played for Halloween, which was a great game, by the way. So yeah, so I would love that. I would love playing all the Resident Evil together. But at the same time, it's such a risk because I might get tired from the Resident Evil event or lore, and that's it. That's it. That there's next to nothing else. There's next to nothing else. What else is there for? But at the same time, and it's all. Also, I want to see next year. The whole purpose of this video is 2025 October. and it's also next year, Spooktober 2026. So we're gonna be doing, and for next year, what I would like to do, and again, it's so early, but really go in the So I got the ID from Stream. The ID from Stream. I would really like to go back to see old movie. Tubi has a pretty good selection. I was impressed with Tubi, because usually we use Netflix, but Tubi really, really, really surprised me. I was like, holy shit, Tubi isn't that bad, which is really mean to say. C Nation would be good. Halloween, ooh, Halloween. Halloween would be very good. Yeah, because tomorrow, and I really feel like tomorrow is kind of important, because tomorrow or the day after, when we're doing the marathon of Tim Burton, it's important in a sense of we're trying something new, right? And that's meaningful. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. But I love you. Take it easy. I was supposed to do more with this video, but because the video itself was supposed to be made yesterday. Yesterday we didn't have the battle did with the TikTok live and I talked about it. So I feel like I'm repeating myself, and I'm not repeating myself because not everybody's gonna watch the TikTok live, you know. But yeah, games I would like to play. Silent Hill would be something that I'm interested in. Silent Hill for sure. Outlast, but I own the game. I'm trying to think of games that I don't own that I want to play. Silent Hill is one of them. What other games are scary out there? Like The Last of Us. Was The Last of Us scary? No. No. What else is there that is supposed to be scary? I just don't know. What a waste of a video. My apologies. Okay, so now we gotta do the TikTok live. Cinnamon, you're awesome. Okay. You can be a lover or a fighter. No, that's not it. It's screen view and then do the tower. The tower. There we go. Okay, good.